Knox Game Design, May 2021. Ludum Dare 48 entries.
Welcome everyone to Knox Game Design for May 2021. So this month is just going to be a quick recap of the Ludum Dare 48 game development competition. I believe we had 2 entries submitted this time, so let's check them out. So Ludum Dare started out as a 48-hour game development competition. Let me switch over there. There we go. And so it's kind of ironic that now they're up to the 48th edition of Ludum Dare 48. So for each competition now, there's 2 versions. There's a compo, which is done in 48 hours, 2 days, by yourself, using all create assets that you create yourself, such as graphics, textures, music, sound effects, things like that, and also the game engine code. Now, there's a slight caveat to that, where you can use pre-existing code if you made that code shareable. So I don't know, it's kind of a judgment call. I've seen a lot of people like almost make their entire game and declare that their like base code or something. So I really don't think that's like really in the spirit of Ludum Dare. I think you should create as much code as you can during the 48 hours. Now, I will admit I did use some pre-existing code for my entry for the leaderboard because I really didn't want to have to write that from scratch every time. It's the same leaderboard code that I use every time, and it just submits scores to my website. So I'll admit I used that as well. I had that code posted to my GitHub account. But anyway, so there's the 48-hour, then the 72-hour, what they call the jam. I mean, really, it's all a jam, but they call the 72-hour competition a jam. And it looks like there's a lot more people that compete in the jam now, where you can work on a team and use other assets out there, like existing music and images and things like that. I think somewhere you can actually see, yeah, here we go, Ludum Dare 48. And number of submissions, 3,866. So 70% of the entries were jams. 2,721 were jams. And almost 30% were compos. 29.62 or 11,000 entries were compos. Types entries, yeah, I think this is like some stuff they're going to do in the future. But yeah, all of them are games. And this is kind of new right here. It actually shows how many ratings in each category, or how many ratings each entry has received. So you got to have, they say about 20 entries. I don't know if that's a hard number or not, but about 20 entries in order to receive ratings in a category. And each entry gets judged on multiple categories. As we look at Jacob's game here, let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I'm not logged in right now, but if you're logged in, you can see the different categories. Which, let me open a new browser window. This is too big. Come on. Okay, I'm logged in here. My game. So, yeah, so here are so my game has received between 20 and 22 ratings based on overall fun, innovation, theme, graphics, audio, humor, and mood. And you can opt out of some of these categories if you feel like if your game doesn't have music or sound effects, and you can opt out of audio. Or if your game isn't a funny game or anything, you can opt out of humor or mood, things like that. So as usual, I did a recording of myself while I developed the game. Now, I used to do a live stream. There's issues with doing real-life issues that deal with doing a live stream. So now I'm doing a recording as I develop the game. And I had, in previous entries, put these videos out in chunks. But this time, I just took all the videos from day one, which is about 7 hours, basically concatenated them together, put all the videos together for day one, and generated a video for that. And then I put all the videos together for day two, which I think is about 3 or 4 hours. I can't remember. Yeah, 3 hours and 27 minutes. For some reason, you can't click and play through there anymore, so you have to click through. But yeah, I'm trying to get off YouTube. I want to upload all this to Rumble or some other sites now. But yeah, you can view it right there if you want to see everything that I did to create this game. Now, if you just want to see the time lapse in about 4 minutes, you can click on the time lapse video, and you can see me creating the game in a time lapse fashion in 4 minutes and 41 seconds. So this is just like if you just want an overview of what I did to create the games, if you want to see how the models were created and how I create the code and music and sound effects and things like that, check out the time-lapse video. But anyway, let's go back. So the final round of voting, like none of these themes really jumped out at me. The final round themes were Deeper and Deeper, Leave Something Behind, Parasite, Shelter, Expansion, Hidden World, Delivery, You Are the Power Source, Generations, One Tool, Many Uses, Automation, Lost Signal, One-Time Use, Containment, Split in Two, and Summoning. And some of these sounds, I thought we had one that's sort of delivery before. I did a delivery game for Ludum Dare before. And it seems like Power Source, seems like we had one like that one before. But in the final round, after the voting was over, the theme was the very first one up here called Deeper and Deeper. So, since this was Ludum Dare 48, and since I hadn't done it in a while, where is it at? You can click on, let's see, my account right here. You can go to feed on my account on the Ludum Dare site. And I also posted this on the Discord, and also put a link on the Knox Game Design website. But I did write a post-mortem for this one. I haven't written a post-mortem in quite a while. I can't remember the last time that I did one. It's been a few years. But I wrote a post-mortem, basically my thoughts after developing this game. So the reason I mentioned this is because I talk about how I came up with the idea for the game that I developed called Digmania. So at first I was thinking like Dig Dug, classic arcade. So like right here I put a hyperlink to Dig Dug. If you don't know what Dig Dug is, it actually comes up with the playable version right here from archive.org, where you can play Dig Dug. I believe this is the NES version right in the browser. Just press 1 to start it up. And let's see here. You use the arrow keys to play, and I think you use control to shoot. But basically, you're like this little digger, and you dig tunnels, and you try to shoot your little arrow to inflate these guys, and then they pop like balloons. So this is kind of like the idea that I had for Deeper and Deeper, where you just keep digging right there. Like that. And the other idea that I had was like Super Mario Brothers 2, where the digging levels, this is like a game that I had. I think I got it like for Christmas when I was 8 or 9 years old. So I remember the digging stages where you dig through the sand and you avoid the shy guys and collect the cherries to get the stars to get invincibility. Then you have the sniffets over here shooting at you. So I was kind of thinking something like this. But, yeah, you can read all about it in my post-mortem. I don't know if a lot of people write post-mortems anymore. But, yeah, kind of used to enjoy reading those. And, oh, by the way, there was a good keynote by Mike Kasperzak. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But since it was LD48, he goes in and he talks a little bit about the history of Ludum Dare and how it got started and the history and where it's going and things like that. So I really enjoyed this. It's about 15, 16 minutes long. And he answers questions from, I don't know where he got the questions from, but he answered some commonly asked questions about Ludum Dare. So yeah, this one's definitely, some of the keynotes have been stinkers before, but this one was actually pretty good. So I recommend checking that out. So anyway, Deeper and Deeper. So Jacob made a game, and I have not played this yet. So just checked it out today. So it's called Delve Inc. Incorporated. You play as a dwarf in a hastily constructed drill ship delving deep into an abandoned mining plot to search for much needed metals. However, the new inhabitants of the plot are not keen to you invading their territory. So the controls are AD to adjust offset, WS to adjust charge depth. Enemies will be stunned within the 20 radius explosion, 10 up, 10 down in depth. Space to deploy charges. Activate the control panel buttons to upgrade ship and craft more ammo. Gold for dig rate, iron for dig power, iron and copper for ammo. If the bad guys is both within 4 depth and within 4 offset of your craft, you die. So yeah, he actually has it posted to Game Jolt, where you can play it directly in the browser. So you just click right there, linked off his game. So then here it is. I haven't played this yet, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. A and D ammo. Let's see here. A and D to adjust offset. W and S to adjust charge depth. Okay. There's the charge timer and depth. Space to deploy. So we got a depth of 52, 56, 60, 64. So it keeps, looks like we keep going down. Lower offset 0. Charge timer 104. So our copper, gold, iron, and copper increases. This kind of reminds me of Trade Wars with the different values for resources that you have here. So rate, ammo. Let me try this. See, he didn't have a downloadable build. Okay. So I don't know what the 180 and the one over here are. Power, ammo rate. So before I was earning gold, iron, and copper. I don't seem to be getting iron and copper anymore. So depth just reset right there. Back down to 0. Ammo rate, power. Depth 64. Seems like I'm missing something here. Get rid of this. Yeah, somehow I was earning gold, iron, and copper before, but now I'm not. Let's go back to this build. Play game. Rate. I'm not sure what the 112, 108, and the one over here are. Power, ammo. I know I was getting resources before. I'm just not sure how I did that. So the depth and charge timer keep going up. 192, 188, 1. So this value keeps going down. 40. So this value over here starts at 200 and starts counting down. Oh, so once it got so low, then now I'm actually gaining gold, iron, and copper. Right. Yeah, I just don't know, like with pressing the different buttons. A, D to adjust off. I don't know if it has to be capital A and capital D. Offset. Yeah, for some reason it's not changing the offset. Activate the control panel buttons to upgrade the shift and craft more ammo. Yeah, I don't... Ammo. Rate, power. Yeah. I'm getting lots of gold, iron, and copper. I just don't know how to buy. And my depth keeps going down. The charge timer keeps going down. But yeah, I can't seem to change the offset. So yeah, that's Delve Incorporated. Check it out. You know, I actually get the source right here. I wonder if he did Game Maker. So there it is, Delve INC. Maybe you did it all in JavaScript. Yeah, it doesn't look like a Game Maker game. Particles. Built-in fonts. I guess I should extract this. Options IN. Oh, created with Game Maker Studio 2. Okay. Guess it was Game Maker. So here's the JavaScript right here. Yeah, that's kind of hard to read right there. Okay. So my game, let's see here, am I next on the list? Yeah, my game is called Digmania. Help Mr. Digger dig as far as possible into the earth. Pick up the shovel to start digging. Pick up additional shovels to speed up the digging speed. Avoid the enemies as you dig. Get hit 3 times and the game is over. Enter your name for the online leaderboard. So you press left and right to move. You press space while standing still to dig downward. Hold left and right and space to dig horizontally up to jump. So pretty simple, just like I was saying, a lot like Dig Dug. But you can't damage the enemies. So let's go down here. So I have it where you can either download for Windows, Mac, and Linux on itch.io, or you can play the HTML5 version directly on my website, and you can also get the source code on my website. Click on that and you can download the zip file. So yeah, you can read all about my thoughts on... Let's start. So I'll turn down the sound. Okay. I gotta mute that a little bit. Where's the sound control? Okay, here we go. Digmania and play it right here. And yeah, here's the leaderboard at the top. Like 20 scores right there. Let's start. So yeah, you got your little guy right here. Let's maximize this. So once you pick up the shovel, you just press space and you start digging downward. So basically each one of these ground blocks is a game object. So I shoot a ray downward, or you can hold left and right and like dig to the left or right. One thing I wish I would have done was created like a digging animation, but there's only so much you can do in 48 hours. So I was happy at least I got the digging working. I got like a particle effect and little ground pieces right there. They're just basically, and you can jump. The one thing I didn't do was like limit how far you can jump, so you can actually go all the way back up to the very top of the game if you wanted to, up to the very top right there. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool, but yeah, I also think you should like limit how far you can jump. But yeah, that's basically it. You got 4 different types of enemies. The green enemies just go back and forth. The blue ones kind of go in random directions after a set period of time, kind of like the Octoroks in Legend of Zelda. The orange ones go in a circle, and the red ones are stationary, but they shoot at you. And as you dig further down into the ground, the enemies get faster and faster. So you can see they're really spinning through. So when you get hit, you're invincible for a short period of time. But after you've been hit 3 times, then you're dead. So yeah, there we go. Submit score, so you can type in your name. So this is the code that I already used from my GitHub. So you can hit submit. And yeah, 113. So 115 is my best. So I've almost got to my best time again. So you can just press restart and start all over right there. So it's a pretty simple game. I kind of liked with the Chicken Little game that I created for like 2 Ludum Dares ago, where it's short and simple, and you get a score, a varying score. In this game, it's the depth. I don't have units on depth or anything, so it can be feet or meters or whatever. I just call it depth. So that's your score. One idea was like having gems and things like that, but it's like, okay, the score is depth. Don't need to overcomplicate things by adding gems or anything like that. One other thing, like, I think the hardest thing about developing this was like getting like the camera synchronized. LD Smith. Yeah, the hardest part was figuring out how deep you are, then spawning new blocks based on how deep you are, which it just took a little while to figure that out. And once you get to a certain depth, then it's going to generate like another 10 blocks below. And then once you dig down that far, then once you get to a certain point, then as you see here, then the camera is going to scroll down to match your position. Like once you get to the bottom there. So it's going to try to match where you are. So that's about the hardest part with this. Like improvements that could have been made. Well, the one thing is, if I had to do this over, I probably would just have it where if you pressed right or left or down, then you would start digging in that direction and not have a specific button, or you didn't specifically have to press space to dig. Like right here, you just press down to dig down, or right to dig right, or left where you didn't actually have to hold the space key to dig. The other big thing the Smith's seen, a couple of things, is like a dig animation. I like to have like a miner's hat on this guy and have the shovel in his hand where you can actually see him digging dirt and everything. Right now he's just kind of like in a T-pose right there. So that's all I really had time to do, and all I had the effort to feel like doing. Spent 10 hours on this over the course of 2 days. So I remember in previous Ludum Dare competitions, I'd spent like 20 hours making a game, and yeah, I feel like I'm getting old, and I just don't have time to do it anymore. I like making things that are complete now, where it's like, okay, I'll spend time polishing. And so this is a game I would like to go back after the judging and ratings are over, to go back. I think I do have a lot of ideas that could be applied to this game to make it better. And I think the other thing is like the health, like have little hearts over here instead of just a number for your health. And yeah, various other things that could be added. But yeah, appreciate everyone that actually submitted scores for the game. And one improved, so here's the postmortem. So I originally posted the postmortem on my own website. So if you want to read it on my own website, it's here. This is the same thing that I posted on the LD Jam website as well. But yeah, you can also find the leaderboard scores here on the main leaderboard site on my page. I did make some improvements to this behind the scenes with the management of scores. By default, it shows all top scores based on name. So if I go in and I put LD Smith in, it's going to combine all those LD Smith scores and only show the top LD Smith scores. Now, if you want to see all the scores, and press all top scores, and like you'll see some of these, like Germ here appears twice, and LD Smith, you can see that 103 that I submitted right there, and the 115. So if you want to see the duplicate scores, not just the highest scores, you can click all top scores. And then I have latest scores, so you can see everybody who's recently submitted a score right there. And then this new screen that I recently added within the last few weeks is game score stats. So you can, like, every game that has a leaderboard, you can like list them by name. You can see the number of scores that have been submitted for that game. You can actually sort by count. So you can see the games that have had a lot of scores submitted. Like Chicken Little has 228 and Digmania has 119. You can see the minimum score submitted, the maximum score submitted, and the average score submitted. And I also have the latest. You can sort by the latest score that has been submitted for each game. So you can see here Digmania has a score submitted May 8th, which is today, which is probably the score that I just submitted. And so this kind of helps me right here to see which games have not had a score submitted in a while. Like Note Chomper, latest score was submitted on January 11, 2018. So that could be something I can look at and say, hey, why are people not playing this game? Or is it just sitting out there not getting played? Or is there actually something broken within the game that needs to be fixed to allow people to submit scores again? Maybe it needs to be rekeyed, or maybe the leaderboard calls need to be updated, which has been a problem before. But anyway, that's Digmania. I also have, I think this is just a gameplay. I have a WebM embedded on my main page. Yeah, this is just a gameplay video. Trying to get all the YouTube videos off my page. Also went and removed all the Google links and all the Google stuff off my page. So yeah, just trying to keep it simple, safe and simple on my site as can be. And I have the screenshot right there. So, another game, let's see here. Also went back and tried this game Roguely by one of our group members. I think is Mythic. Let's see here. General. Yes, so Locksmith Army, he has a game on Steam. I can't remember which one this is, but he's been invited to the Steam Summer Sale. So check that game out on the Steam Summer Sale. I think I have a link. I'll put in another link if there's not one out there already. But let's see here. There's a lot of activity on the Discord lately. Maybe it's on the show off. Digmania. I did put the final version of the Gomenisai game on my website, so you can play that in a web browser. No leaderboards for that one. But yeah, Frank Hale, Roguely. He has a video right here, so check out the video. I really like the aesthetic and everything of this game. But when I went to so I tried it out. You can get it on GitHub, and you can get all the source code files. I loaded all that into Visual Studio, and then when you play it, when you press Windows Debugger, then it comes back and complains about missing SDL2 and Soul and Boost and all that. So he says that if you read the documentation, he's using VCPKG. You can download that from another GitHub link. So I installed that, and I ran VCPKG install SDL2 because he lists all the dependencies that he's using right here. So it found SDL2 and went through and installed that. It didn't find SDL image. It complained, like if I do SDL image, then it complains about the format of the package name, invalid character underscore. So I don't know what's going on there. Then I tried installing Boost, and it just started going for like minutes, installing a bunch of stuff. Like started installing OpenSSL and all that. I'm like, why is it installing OpenSSL and all this extra? So I just killed this. So I don't know. I kind of wish there was just an executable where I can understand. It's like, yeah, if you want to be a purist, and it's like, yeah, just put the source code out there and a build tool, but I wasn't able to figure out how to install the dependency. Now I could go into Visual Studio, and I think I tried this before, going in and like right clicking and going to NuGet, manage NuGet packages, and then go in, and I've done this before myself. I can go in, look for SDL, but some of these have multiple SDLs, like the SDL2.redist, and then SDL2. So it's like, which one do I need? I don't know if I need this one or this one. And then there's like SDL-TTF, I think. Yeah, SDL-228. So there's like multiple packages, and it's like, which one do I need? And the same thing for the Lua stuff. If I look for Lua, then there's like Neo Lua and Kara Lua and Lua binaries and just Lua. I'm guessing this is the one, but I'm not sure. Then I didn't even look up Boost. So I think here's Boost right here. So I'm thinking the VCPKG is supposed to resolve the issue of me having to go out and figuring out how to download all this from NuGet. Like here's the VCPKG, and I think I just downloaded the code and extracted that. So it does have like this VCPKG bootstrap VCPKG package, but somehow I'm guessing the VCPKG is supposed to look at your project to figure out what it needs to install instead of saying install each individual package. I'm guessing. I haven't figured that out yet. Yeah, I don't know how to really use VCPKG, but yeah. I know, like, when you're developing something, you don't have a lot of time to go in and, like, tell people how to build your game. Like, if you're just giving them source code. But, yeah. I don't know. I can't figure this one out. It looks cool. I'd really like to play it. But you just can't figure Roguely out. But, yeah, I think that's it. I think this is going to be a short Knox Game Design for this month. I don't think anything else is going. Now I'm just going to say, like, there's been some, I don't know, stuff going on the Discord. The Discord, Knox Game Design Discord, is for people interested in making and developing games. You don't have to be in Knoxville or Knoxville area. But if you're just coming in to say, hey, I don't know, trying to push like different ideologies and things like that. There's Knox Devs. If you're looking for pushing ideologies, go to the Knox Devs. There's a lot of people in there that are for that. But yeah, I'm not for people pushing ideologies on the Discord. I think it makes everybody unhappy. Let's just stick to making games. Like, some off topic is fine. But yeah, we're here to talk about making games and show off what we've been making, things like that. So yeah, I guess that's going to be it. Appreciate everyone out there listening and watching. I don't have any idea what the talk will be about next month. I'll come up with something. So see everyone back in a month.